Hey everyone, welcome back to Iguana Gaming. I'm the Iguana, and today we are continuing our beginner's guide for ARK Mobile. Now, in the last episode, the first episode, we learned how to make a campfire and do some basic crafting and gathering. So we learned how to make our pick and our hatchet, and some basic user interface stuff. So today I thought what we would first do is learn how to do a little bit of the movements, because the movements on this game are really good. They're really well done, but they are a little bit tricky to get the hang of if you don't know what to do. So you can move around with that lower left hand part of the screen, but you can also sprint using that lower left hand part of the screen. Now, to sprint, all you have to do is tap once and then tap and hold. So it's a double tap with a hold at the end. Just like that. I know you can't see my thumb, but that's what I did, and it does cause you to sprint. And as you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see that little lightning bolt bar being drained of the bright blue color, and that means that you are using up stamina. Now this isn't too much of a problem. Usually you have quite a bit of stamina starting out, and you can always level up stamina in the inventory later on. Alright, so now, there we go, winded. So once you're winded, you can no longer sprint. You do slow down, and you have to wait for that stamina to come back before you can sprint again. Okay, so now the next feature I want to show off is the auto attack feature. So you can double tap and hold the same way you did on the left, but if you do that on the right, it will continue to gather. So then if I keep that hold and walk up to another plant, it will just keep gathering with the hands. Alternatively, if you do that with a weapon in your hand, it's just going to keep swinging that weapon and using up stamina as you're doing that. Alright. Now, if you did notice, we did just cause the character to jump a little bit. So in order to do that, you just swipe up on the left-hand side of the screen really quickly, and the character will jump. Alright, so those are the major basics of movement in this game. Sprinting is definitely an important one. You are going to want to be able to sprint away from something that is trying to eat you, or after something that you are trying to catch. Alright, so now I thought what we would do is learn how to build just a little bit of a hut. Alright, so I'm going to go into the inventory, back to the engrams. And as you can see, at level 3 we learned the stone hatchet. Now at level 4, which we are now, we learned the spear and the thatch foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and click this open to crafting button, which will automatically select the thatch foundation engram. And I'm just going to go ahead and make one of those. I'm going to go back to the inventory, and I'm going to click the place button just like we did for the campfire, but in this case it's for our thatch foundation. So now you can see it on the screen glowing green, and anywhere that it's green, that means that it's okay to place. If there is an area where it is red, I saw one right there somewhere. Anyway, a red area means that you cannot place the structure in that location. So I'm going to come down to the beach where the ground is flat. It is much better to build on flat ground if you can. And I'm going to start kind of in the high point, and I'm going to go ahead and place this foundation. Now if you tap once, it places the foundation, but then you can swivel the foundation any way that you want. So if you have like an angle in the ground and you want to change the way that the foundation is placing, you can of course rotate it. I'm actually okay with the original placement, so I'm going to rotate it back and tap again to place. Alright, so now that we've done that, we have a floor, but it's not very big. This is not a lot of room, and we are going to want a little bit of space to build like storage boxes in and things like that, so that we can gather more items. So in that case, we are going to need to go ahead and gather a lot more thatch using the pick and some wood. The pick does pick up a little bit of wood. It should be enough. And I have been gathering some fiber by going around to the plants with the hands and doing the attack on the plants. So that will gather fiber. Alright, I'm going to ignore that level up for now and go back to the crafting menu. And we are going to go ahead and craft. If you tap and hold, I'll do that again. If you tap on craft and hold, it should bring up this menu, which allows you to change the number of items that you want to craft. In this case, I just want to create a little 4x4 hut, so I'm just going to craft 3 more foundations since we already have 1. We do move more slowly when we are crafting. Okay, we're going to come back over here. And a good tip for anybody who's just starting out in the game is that you can actually hold and drag these items onto your hotbar and then select them while you're still in the actual game world and place from there. Awesome. So now we have ourselves the whole floor that we want. It's still a little bit small, but we are going to move bases eventually. This is just what we like to call a starter hut. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and deal with that level up. So I think what I want to level up right now is a little bit of movement speed, just to help us get around a little bit faster. Okay, and now we're going to go back to the engrams menu. There we go. And we are going to go to the level 5 engrams, and we are going to learn how to make some thatch walls, a door frame, and once you learn the door frame, you also have unlocked the thatch door, and then we have the thatch roof as well. So we have now everything we need to know to make just a very basic little square hut. Okay, I'm going to see how many walls I can make. I'm going to cycle through these back to this crafting menu. I'm going to tap and hold on this. I don't think we need 10 thatch walls. I think we need 7. I think 7. I'm going to go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 walls. Although we may make twice as many, because if you only make your hut 1 level high, it's a little bit short, and sometimes if you made a tall character, your head will actually stick out through the ceiling. So we may make twice as many walls as that. I'm going to go ahead and put these on my hotbar. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and place these. Now everything building-wise does snap in this game, and the arrow shows you which way it's facing. So you can see that arrow is pointed out. You can also tap on the top button on the right here, this little building button that comes up, and that's going to rotate all of the possible snap points that are in your field of view. You can also change the direction that this wall is facing. So now you can see the arrow is facing towards me, and now it's facing out. So I'm going to go ahead and place this way so you can see what it looks like. So this way, this is the outside of the thatch wall, and this is the inside. So we don't actually want it to be like this. We want the inside on the inside for this hut. So I'm going to click that undo button, get my thatch wall back, and place it the correct way. Okay. There we go. So now we have a little bit of a hut going, but we are going to need more materials pretty soon. So I'm going to sprint over here towards these trees, and I'm going to go ahead and gather up some more thatch. Alright, quite a bit. The gather rates are pretty low on ARK Mobile. You're not going to get a lot of materials per hit, but as you get better tools, you will get more materials from the things that you are harvesting. So if we had a metal pick, for instance, we would get more thatch and more wood from each tree that we were harvesting from. Okay, now our pick broke. So what we need to do when one of our tools breaks is repair it. So you can do that 2 different ways. You can go to your inventory, you can tap on the item, and there's this little repair button down here that you could click. However, if you have the hotbar menu like I do and not the flow menu, what you can do is just tap on the icon and it will automatically try to repair the tool if you have the materials in your inventory. We did, so we were able to repair. Alright, now we can continue harvesting. Get a little bit more, and then we're going to see what else we need to keep making this hut. Okay, I'm going to go back into crafting. We will need a door frame and a door. And then how many walls can we make? 10. I think that's too many. I think we only need 8 more, because we'll need one to go above the door frame as well. And once we do that, we're going to need to make some roofs. So we can only make one right now, so I'm going to go ahead and make that, and then I'm going to keep gathering again because we are going to need 4 roofs in total to cover that whole area. Okay. And again, we move much more slowly when we are crafting, which is another reason I leveled movement speed. Movement speed isn't always the best thing to level early on in the game, but when you're starting off in an easy area, especially on a single player world, I think it's fine. Alright, got that tree down. What else are we missing? Fiber. Okay, I'm going to actually show you that a little bit more slowly. So if you go to your crafting menu, anything in dark gray is something that you cannot craft for some reason right now, and usually that reason is that you don't have the materials you need. So if you click on the item that's highlighted in dark gray, and you look in the lower right hand side, the things that are white, so the numbers for thatch and the numbers for wood, are materials you have enough of. Anything in gray, the fiber on the very bottom, is something you don't have enough of. So we are going to need to collect more fiber, which you get from harvesting these plants. We've got 3 fiber there and 5 there. We're going to need quite a bit more. I believe we need 10 per roof, so we are going to need 30 fiber in total, since we already have 1 roof made up. Alright. Grab a few more of these bushes, and then we'll check and see how much fiber we've collected. Okay. Let's go into the inventory, and we can look at how much fiber we've collected. This is your fiber right here, and we have 99, so now we have plenty of fiber to finish our roofs. So I'm going to tap on that, hold the craft button, and slide that counter down to 3. Alright, so now we are crafting the last things we need to finish off this hut. I like this parasaur. He's very friendly. He can just hang out. Okay, there we go. Now we can move faster now that we're done crafting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is place down the second walls on top of the other walls. It may take a little bit of walking around and changing your camera angles to get the right snap point, but it should not take you very long, hopefully. Okay, now we have 1 more item to place, but I don't want to place it there because then we'd be trapped in here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my hand symbol to deselect that. Go into the inventory. I'm going to click on my door frame, and now I'm going to place my door frame. And the same thing with the door. And now we can select that wall again and place the wall above the door frame. So now if you go up to the door, you can just tap on the door to open it, and now we have an entrance to our little hut. Alright, now we need the thatch roof. I'm going to put that on my hotbar again. And 1 more. There we go. So now we are inside our house. And this is really good. So what happens with this house is that you get increased insulation stats. So if it's too warm or too cold outside, you're going to do better inside a house than you would outside. So basically, they help you survive if you have a roof over your head. Awesome. Okay, so now the next step is to get a few more tools. So we are going to need to learn how to make a hide sleeping bag. And what this does is allow you to respawn in one location at a specific location, wherever you place it down, but only once. Once you use that sleeping bag, it is gone and you will not be able to use it again. But you have to learn how to use the hide sleeping bag in order to learn this engram, the simple bed. Now the bed does a similar thing, except that it has to be placed on a foundation, and once you have that bed learned, it does not go away unless it is destroyed. So you can use a bed over and over again as many times as you need to. Alright, now beds do take some hide to craft. Let's see here. There's the bed. So it takes a little bit more wood than we have, and it takes 40 hide, and we only have 11. So what we're going to do is craft a couple of spears. Right now we can only make one. We're going to need some more wood. I'm going to head this way. I'm going to use my hatchet to gather more wood than thatch. Get a bunch more. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to make some more spears. So I think 3 spears will be enough. Back to the inventory. I'm going to go ahead and drag this down to this item. And I'm going to tap on where the ceiling was with the little X through it. And that just basically clears out that inventory slot for other items if we want to. Okay, so now we have a spear. Okay, so we need to go and find something that can give us some hide. Now, there are a few things that we could hunt, but there are only a couple of things that aren't going to hunt us back right now or run away from us faster than we can catch. This happens to be one of those dinos. So this is a Lystrosaurus, and they are passive tames, and they are incredibly easy to kill. So what you're going to do is just start tapping on the right side of the screen when that thing is in your sights as it's highlighted, and that's going to help you kill that Lystrosaurus. So now, in order to harvest more hide than meat, we need to use a hatchet, and we are going to go ahead and harvest that up. So that gave us some hide, but we still need a lot more. So I believe there's another Lystrosaurus over here. There is. There are a couple on this beach, so we should be able to get enough hide for a bed. Whoops. You can use the spear to harvest if you keep hitting, but it does not give you as many resources as a hatchet or a pick would. Okay, we're going to go down and we're going to have to kill this Lystro too. Okay, a couple more hits. This one has quite a bit of health. He's actually a pretty high level. The single player game's max level is 30 for dinos, which is pretty low. The max level can go much higher on official servers, but that's okay for a single player game. It's good that the level is low. That's going to make it easier for us to survive and have a little more fun playing the game. There we go. Alright, we're going to need our hatchet again. Okay. We still don't have quite enough hide, so we may have to go find one more thing to kill. Perfect. Okay, so here are some more dodos. If you'll recall from the last episode, we had to hunt a dodo. And last time we killed it with a hatchet, but spears are a little bit better. They do a little more damage. So we are going to go ahead and kill this one with a spear. And this one as well. One of our spears broke. That's why it's important to make more than one. And now we're going to use a hatchet to harvest the dodos. Hopefully these two dodos will give us enough hide between them. They did. We now have 42 hide. So we're going to go ahead and craft this bed and head back towards our hut. Excellent, and we leveled up as well, so we will take care of that level up when we get back to the hut. So as you can see, it's easy to wander pretty far away from base very quickly if you're playing. So that is something to just be aware of and be very careful. Oh, here we go. This creature right here is a Dilophosaurus, and they are actually pretty dangerous. They spit poison at you, and they will basically get aggroed on you and try to attack you. Luckily, he's attacking something else right now, but this one isn't. So I'm going to run up this hill and get my spear ready. These can be a little bit tough to kill, so it's better if you can attack them before they attack you. As you can see, he just spit at me, and when they do that, it makes you move more slowly, and it's hard to see on your screen for a little bit of time. Okay, now we're okay again. So I'm going to use a hatchet because we are going to need more hide in the future. Alright, now this is what's called an item cache. So when an animal or a dino dies on this game, sometimes they are carrying items, and if you tap and hold on the right hand side, that's basically the same thing as opening the inventory in the upper left hand corner. And what you can do is you can harvest whatever is in these caches as long as they stay good. So this one has a decomposition time of about 4 minutes left. So if we tap, hold, and open, we can take this item, which is a skin, which we can put onto a hat, I believe, and it will cause your character to wear glasses. Now, we don't have a hat yet, but we will hold on to that so that I can show you guys that skin in a later episode. Okay. So now what we are going to do is go ahead and place down our bed, and I'm going to place it in the middle here so that it gives me some room to build around this bed if we want to. So I want the walls kind of clear because the bed is never going to be in the way in the middle of the house, but it would be in the way if we were trying to place a structure against a wall, for instance a box or something like that. That's probably good. Now we have all of this outside room for boxes and crafting stations if we need to. Excellent. Now we can go ahead and level up again. And this time I'm going to level up weight because we are going to start collecting more items pretty quickly here. Okay. There are pursuits available that you can do if you choose to. I'm going to go ahead and start this take a nap one, which I believe wants us to, craft a stone hatchet, which we can equip. It asks us to learn that sleeping bag, gather hide, gather fiber, and it's going to want us to craft a sleeping bag. So we already did all of that. You can, of course, finish these pursuits if you want to. We may not do that in this particular episode because we've already made a bed. We don't really need a sleeping bag at the moment. So instead, what we're going to do is go back to our engram menu, and we are going to learn these two items, the mortar and pestle and the narcotic. Excellent. So the mortar and pestle and the narcotic are really essential in this game for taming purposes. So if you want to tame one of these creatures, make it your friend, and ride around on it, you're going to need to know how to make narcotics. So the best way to do that is to start off by making a mortar and pestle, and then make narcotics in that mortar and pestle. And narcotics are also a really good way to gain experience early on in the game. They give you a lot of experience per craft, so it is a very good idea to go ahead and do that right away. Now I am gathering stone because the mortar and pestle, if I go to my crafting menu, it takes a lot of, oh, it used to take stone. There we go. It takes a lot of stone. So it takes 65 stone and 15 hide. So we are going to need a lot of stone, and we are going to need quite a bit of hide as well. We almost have enough. We'll probably only need to take care of one dodo or one lystro to get enough hide for this. This is the easiest way to pick up stones, is to just wander around on the beach and pick them up by hand. You can also break bigger rocks with a hatchet. That will also get you a lot of stone. Alright, and here is a lystro, which is perfect. We are going to pull out one of our spears. And, whoop, there we go. pull out our hatchet for the hide. And now we have enough hide for that. How many stones do we still need? Alright, we only have 28 and we need 65. So I'm going to pull out the hatchet and I'm going to go ahead and break this big rock. You do have to be pretty close to it. But as you can see, you get quite a bit of stone from breaking these rocks. It's a little bit faster than picking them up by hand, but it does do damage to your hatchet, and then you'll have to repair it later. Alright, now that stone is broken. We can go ahead and break this one as well. And we are getting the warning message that our hatchet will break soon. That is okay. I am happy to repair them later. So again, we can go into our inventory and tap this repair button if we have the materials, which we do. Waiting for the repair, and now we can select it and continue harvesting. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and break this rock as well. We should be getting close in terms of how much stone we need now. We are almost there. This is a very big rock. Okay. Excellent. So now that the engram is highlighted, that means we have enough materials to craft it. So we are going to go ahead and do that. And once again, we are going to head back towards the base, which is quite a ways down the beach. So we are going to go ahead and sprint all the way down there. We might pick up a few extra stones along the way. It never hurts to gather extra materials if you're traveling around, just because sometimes you really need those materials and you're saving yourself some time later if you pick them up on your way. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my inventory, take that mortar and pestle that we just crafted, and I'm going to go ahead and place it down. I'm going to do that kind of over here behind the door so that it's not in the way of anything. Just right there. I like where that is. Now if you open up the mortar and pestle, again on the right hand side you just tap and hold to open. What you see here is a narcotic, and this narcotic is a consumable good. It does not spoil, which is amazing, and it increases health but puts you to sleep. So you are going to need narcotics. Essentially the main use of them is to make tranquilizer arrows, which you can use to knock out creatures and forcibly tame them. So to make narcotics, we need berries and we need spoiled meat. And we specifically need narco berries. So we already actually have some of those. We have 1 spoiled meat and a few narco berries since we've been gathering from the bushes. So we're going to go ahead and just double tap to move the spoiled meat in there, and double tap and then transfer to move all of those 17 berries in there. So it's 5 narco berries and 1 spoiled meat per narcotic. We're just going to hit craft because we only have 1 spoiled meat at the moment. And now we have a narcotic. And you can see that there's no spoil bar on there. So these are a really excellent resource. They're very valuable. And it's great that you can make them pretty early on in the game. And they give you a lot of experience every time you craft one. So I'm going to go out and gather a few more berries until the next meat spoils in our inventory. Can we? There we go. Alright. We got a couple of narco berries there. A few more there. Now it is getting a little bit dark on the server, as you can see. But that is okay. I do like what the game has done, essentially, is where at night they have increased the gamma, which means that they've lightened the screen so that you can see what you're doing on single player, even if it's at nighttime, which is really nice. That just makes it really easy to play the game and not have to log off every time it gets dark on your game. Okay. And we are hungry, so I'm going to go ahead and eat a bunch of these tinto berries as well. I'm just basically going to tap a lot on that icon until we've eaten most of those berries. Okay. So Now, hopefully, yes, we do have some spoiled meat, and we do have a few more narco berries. So we're going to go back into the hut and make one more narcotic, as that is all we can make right now. I'm going to transfer all of my berries in here so that they stack up, and I'm going to craft that narcotic too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these give you about half a point's worth of experience every time you make one. So if you get a lot of spoiled meat and you get a lot of narco berries, you can increase your level very quickly by just crafting those items without having to go around and hunt anything that could potentially kill you and cause you to lose all of the items that you have crafted and gathered so far. Okay, so last thing we're going to do in this episode, it is getting a little bit long, is we are going to make ourselves some armor. So armor, let's see, we'll go to the engrams. We are going to make some cloth pants, so we'll learn how to make those, and a cloth shirt. Now you can also make gloves, boots, and a hat, and we're going to go ahead and learn how to make that hat so that we can wear those glasses skins. So we're going to go back to our inventory again, select those items. We're going to craft one of those, just a quick tap on that, and a quick tap on that. Okay, now to equip the armor, what you are going to do is just double tap, and that will automatically equip whatever piece of armor you selected in your inventory. You can also select the region that you want to equip something on, select the item, and then equip it from there. Now, as you can see, these items not only give you armor, which helps to protect you from creatures that are attacking you or people that are attacking you, but they also give you insulation values. So hypothermal insulation is going to protect you from heat, and hyperthermal insulation is going to protect you from cold. So they also help you to survive the elements. Okay, we are going to go ahead and equip the hat, and you can see this skins button has popped up. We're going to click on that, and we're going to use our Nerdry glasses skin. And so now you can see that our character is wearing a pair of glasses. The hat has disappeared, and it now looks like a pair of glasses. We still have that hat on, we still have that armor and protection, it just looks a little bit different right now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tap this X button. Alright. And there we go. I think that is going to do it for this episode. It's getting a little bit long. Hopefully you found this information useful. So we have learned how to make a hut, we've learned how to make a bed and narcotics and do a little leveling. We've learned more about movement, and we've learned a little bit about armor. So all in all, I think it's been a very productive episode, and I hope you guys found this useful. Alright. You can, of course, leave me a like if you find yourself enjoying this video at any point. It really helps me out. And you can subscribe if you want to see more content like this. You can also follow me on social media. I have links in the description below. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Signing off. This is the Iguana.